Science tries to explain any phenomenon that occurs around us. However, there are things that simply can't be explained. The most skeptical will always try to find a logical explanation for anything outside of what they consider normal. Today, we're going to show you 5 amazing videos that simply have no explanation. If you think you can find an explanation for any of these phenomena, let us know in the comments. But now, get ready to be surprised with this countdown. Child attacked by a shadow. It seems that Hunter from Paranormal Activity exists in real life. We're not lying. The next video shows how a child is attacked by what appears to be an evil shadow. The video seems part of a horror movie, but it's so real, it'll make you have nightmares tonight. The recordings belong to a security camera in the house where the child lives. Those who are fans of the world of the paranormal know that at night, the demons seem to be more active than usual. Most horror films use the night as the stage for almost all demonic activities, because it's at these times that the most terrifying and strange things take place. Sure, it's happened to you, at least once, that you're walking through the hallways of your house at night and you feel as if someone is watching you from the darkness. Most likely, if you feel like going to the bathroom at night, you turn on all the lights in the house. If not, you have nerves of steel. People who believe in demons feel they are the cause for every strange thing that happens in their homes at night, while those who are more skeptical always find an explanation to everything. The following video is going to be up for debate because it's quite impressive. Surely there will be those who say the images aren't real, but we'll let you draw your own conclusions because what you're about to see is simply unexplainable. In the video, it's seen how the little kid comes out of what seems to be the bathroom of his house, dries his hair with a towel, and when he sets out to walk, a strange figure suddenly pushes him. The boy comes back to check if there is anyone in the bathroom, but when he opens the door and turns on the light, he realizes that the bathroom was empty and that no one was inside, or at least not someone from this plane. Paranormal Activity? Casualties? Just another edited video? We don't know what it is. We just know it's very scary. Japanese girl in the mirror. We reached the first spot in our countdown with something that can only be described as sinister. We're not exaggerating, because what you're about to see is something so shocking and strange that it's sure to give you nightmares for a long time. Proud parents want to film their kids all the time, when they start walking, on their birthdays, when they do something funny, and so on. They want to keep the memories of almost anything their little ones do on video. But what they don't imagine when they do this is that they're going to film much more than just their children. The scene seems something very tender and harmless. The little girl is sitting on a bench in front of a mirror and apparently is learning to comb her hair herself. Her mother, proud of her little girl's achievement, is filming. Everything was going great until the little girl turns to the mother because apparently she was saying something to her. While the girl is on her back, you can see her reflection in the crystals of the mirror behind her. While she's facing back, she points at something, and this is where the most shocking appears. When she turns back to her mother again, the reflection in the mirror remains frozen, as if it weren't the girl who was there, but as if someone else were inside the mirror, staring at her. The video was cut, and we don't know if her mother realized what happened, but we think so because otherwise the video would never have been uploaded to the internet. This gives chills because of how terrifying it is, but beyond that, what happens here has no explanation. The only thing we're really sure of is that this isn't normal. Imagine recording something as innocently as possible, and when you review the recording, you find something like that. We're sure what most would do is find a priest. You're never too cautious when it comes to things like that. If there is something that this countdown has taught us, it's that we don't need to be in a movie to live strange, dangerous, and unexplainable things. Real life can be quite disturbing and mysterious as well. The Case of Eliza Lamb. This is a story that has been around the world because it's simply something nobody has been able to explain. The video was released on February 13th, 2013, and everything in there and the story developed later seemed to be taken from a horror movie. It also continues to create controversy among internet users, and you'll see why. The star of this case is a Canadian girl named Eliza Lamb. She was staying at Hotel Cecil, and this turned out to be the final destination of her trip. In the recording, captured on January 31st, 2013 by the surveillance cameras of the hotel, we can see the woman is nervous, entering the elevator and pressing all the buttons of it. Lamb panics after spending 6 seconds there and seeing the elevator doors don't close. Then she sticks her head out into the hall. We assumed that to see if someone is coming after her. Eliza tries to hide, but again looks fearful towards the hallway and decides to leave slowly. A few seconds later, she enters again and presses the buttons one more time. But she loses control. She leaves the elevator, starts talking to herself, At the same time, she moves her right hand in front of the entrance to the elevator to check if there was nothing causing the elevator to not close. After walking down the hall, the surveillance camera can't reach her anymore. The elevator lasted approximately 2 minutes open. Eliza could never go up. But for those who don't know the case here, the most frightening thing is that was the last time they saw her. Los Angeles police had been looking for Lamb for 2 weeks without success until February 18th, 2013, when the residents of the Hotel Cecil began to complain about the strange taste in the water. If you're thinking something bad happened, we're sorry to tell you, you're right. The worst had happened. Given that the guests were complaining about the smell and taste of the water, the maintenance team of the building went up to the roof to check the condition of the water container, and they received the most unpleasant surprise. Lamb's body was in the water tank. So far, nobody has been able to explain what happened here, why the girl was running, who she was hiding from, and much less how her body ended up being in the water reservoir. The possessed stuffed toy. We've all seen horror movies, those films that make your nerves on edge with the most terrifying images you can imagine. Well, the following video also seems to come from one of those movies, and nobody has been able to explain the reason why this happened. In this video, you see how a group of men sat in circles with no other thing than a Ouija board in the middle of all of them. For starters, who would think of playing with one of those things? Haven't they noticed that most horror movies start with one of those famous boards? In short, they begin to play, and within the strangeness of the situation, everything went normal. But don't let your gaze be focused upon the board, but on the stuffed animal that's in the closet. Yes, that white stuffed animal that seems pretty innocent. But that's the reason why this video is in this countdown. After they finish moving the arrow of the Ouija board, they look a little disappointed because nothing happened. But if you look closely, the stuffed animal has begun to move as if it were receiving some spirit inside of it. They laugh distracted because obviously they haven't realized what's happening. Of course, there may be someone who says it was the wind making the stuffed animal move, but being honest, the wind doesn't make a person turn their neck in the way that stuffed animal did. Each time they use the board, the stuffed animal seems to become more and more active. One of the players looks around and seems to realize that something is happening. They stop the game, and this guy tells the others something strange is happening with the stuffed animal. The other two friends get up, and one of them decides to check the toy to make sure nothing bad is happening. He even takes it in his hands and places it back where it was. The scepter boy tries to calm his friends and tell them everything is fine. He persuades them to sit down again and try to use the Ouija board one more time. But this time, one of the boys paid special attention to the stuffed animal, and as soon as they started using the board, it starts moving, and this time the three of them can see what is happening. Of course, the reaction of the three was to run away. What happened in that video was strange, scary, and unexplainable.
11BX1371. This incredibly creepy video, dubbed only 11BX1371, first surfaced on YouTube, but quickly went viral after a copy was mailed to Johnny Krabickler of GadgetZZ.com. Featuring a strange soundtrack, creepy imagery, and other additions that seem to be clues, this video will definitely make it hard to sleep after watching it. One viewer ran the soundtrack through a spectrogram and found that the visual representation of the audio actually had its own creepy clues embedded in it. Along with symbols and lines of code, it also seems to show images of torture and Ringu-esque premonitions of death. An eerie message in binary along with a line of Morse code that translates to "kill the president" makes this video even more disturbing. The site of the video was determined to be an abandoned sanatorium in Poland. Nothing more is known at all about its meaning or those behind it.